In Kestra 0.19, we've introduced conditional inputs, which allows you to build complex use cases where inputs can depend on one another. Let's look at this example where we've got this request resources workflow that has got a bunch of different inputs, and it all starts based on this first one here that asks which resource type are you requesting. Once it knows that, it will then show different inputs depending on that. So we can actually see here, when I select Cloud VM, it will then show me inputs related to the Cloud VM. But if I click on access permissions, I see ones related to access permissions and vice versa. Now, the really cool thing here is if I go down to the Cloud VM one, we can then see additional inputs based on which Cloud VM we select. And we can do that using the key value store, where we can use this expression here and pass the input from the previous one here. So we can say if we're doing for AWS, it will then get us all the values for AWS. So really helpful if you want to build a really dynamic workflow. Let's have a look at this in action. So if I select Cloud VM, I can select AWS, and now I'm going to see the AWS resource types, but I could also select Google Cloud and I'll see the Google Cloud one. So really helpful. And again, the same applies here for region. So really useful for building those complex workflows where you might have a number of inputs, but you don't necessarily want to show all of them on the screen at the same time.